Mark Gross here, Baltimore NostalgiaCon 2016. Oh my God, I'm tongue-tied. The gorgeous, the lovely Kathy Garver. How are you?
I'm fine, Mark, or should I call you Mr. Dreyfus?
I'm Richard Dreyfus this weekend.
Yes.
She looks marvelous. You look wonderful.
Well, thank you.
So many fans here following you, following your career. You've had such a great career. My first question for the few minutes we have, what really got you into becoming an actress, ma'am?
Probably my mother. And actually, I started so young. I was 3 years old, following supposedly in Shirley Temple's footsteps, or tap steps, according to my mom, because I was a Megalyn kitty, where Shirley was discovered. And so I learned to sing and dance, etc.
Wonderful.
And then I started acting professionally when I was about 7.
Unbelievable. So
Yep.
it was there at a young age. So
Yes, it was.
So you know no other life besides that.
Well, I've discovered a lot about life, Mark.
I was going to say, if you had the time.
Right.
But for you, when you really got into acting at 7 years old, how did you get the role on Family Affair? That's one of the things that people really just equate with growing up. My sister and I did. We were from a dysfunctional family, and growing up in the day, we had an evil step monster mother there, and but we watched shows like that and loved them. So how was that for you in getting that role and building that role?
Well, I have written my second book, which is Surviving Cissy, and I explain, well, how I got that role and what happened to the people, and actually that's my whole life story.
That's in that book.
Yes, and then my new book, which is Ex-Child Stars.
Thank you.
Yes, chronicles the lives of kids that were stars from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Amazing.
And you know what happened to some of them, unfortunately,
We know,
my wonderful little co-star Anissa Jones
Understood.
and Rusty Hamer, and the foreword was written by Paul Peterson,
Right.
who was on the Donna Reed show.
Sure.
And he started that wonderful organization, A Minor Consideration,
Right.
which
so
helps
you
these
guys
kids.
in the industry at a younger age, because I know Bill Mooney I've interviewed quite a few times, and he's part of that group too, and Butch Patrick. So,
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I had been acting for a long time and doing guest spots in TV shows and doing movies and doing radio and doing stage. And I had just started at UCLA when I got the call to come and audition for Family Affair.
Wow.
And at that time, my hair was very dark brown with dark brown eyes. I was going out of the camera, coming back into the camera to show my picture of the 10 Commandments.
Love that film.
Yes.
Love that film.
It's its anniversary.
There you are.
That little tiny girl
Is
up
you.
there is me.
My God, and Charlton Heston, of
That's
course.
right. Yes, and I had dark hair like that, so I was able to be cast.
Did you meet
as
Yvonne
Rachel.
as well? Yvonne DiCarlo on the set or no? I was just
but
wondering.
Nina Foch
Right.
was there,
Yes, ma'am.
and some of the other ones. I was hoping to see Deborah Paget. But
That is so, yeah. Unfortunately, Deborah had to prior commitment this weekend. I've watched this movie a million times and forgot that was you until you were coming out again.
Mark, you're going to have to watch it for the 1,000,001st time.
And then it'll be all new to me now.
Yeah.
Now that I know and I've sat here with you,
Right.
you are that child.
I am.
Unbelievable.
I
Because my
am.
sister and I joke about that movie because my sister and I were born Jews, and we always go, his God is our God. I mean,
Yes.
his God is God. That's what the line is.
Well, right.
But
yes.
you were wonderful in that. And how old were you then?
Oh,
That
I was just a spark in your eye, perhaps. I can't believe what anniversary it is for a family.
Yeah.
They're not the silent
No.
version.
Right.
But even this one, I'm not going to really admit to.
Yeah, we're not
but-
talking about the Cecil B. DeMille version.
Yeah, the Cecil B. DeMille silent version. Yes, we are talking about the Cecil B. DeMille remake. You can remake that movie a lot of times because the basic script is so good.
It is. It really is. And you were wonderful. That's why I can't believe that is you.
Yes, the Bible is a good base to
It really
do a
is
movie
to write
on.
around. Yes, ma'am, for sure. Now, tell me a little bit about your books. You told me about your second and third book. Tell me about your first, and tell me about how you began writing and really got inspired to tell the story of the child actor, your career, That's wonderful.
My first book was the Family Affair Cookbook, and I thought, okay, I would like to put into book form some of the wonderful things, foods that were mentioned on the show.
Wonderful.
And then give the recipes. Then each character has his or her own chapter.
Right.
And then I started writing my autobiography. I actually started the autobiography before the cookbook.
Wow.
But, well, I can't tell my whole story, but
No,
my
'cause
house...
you're going to have to buy the books.
Right.
No doubt. We're promoting the books. You're going to hear a little snippet from live Kathy Garver, but you get the books. You'll know it all.
I don't want to be dead Kathy Garver.
No,
I'm going to wait for a long time before I'm dead Kathy Garver.
Live and in person.
Right.
But get the books. I'll be posting the address, unless you have a .com now. Can you tell us?
Sure, it's Kathy Garver. Isn't that original?
It's really original, yeah.
.com.
I like that.
Kathygarver.
I don't think anyone else will be able to steal that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was talking with Britt Eklund, who was here at the convention, and she got all of her domain names, and sometimes she doesn't even do Instagram, but she signed up for it just so whose it is. So, so I started writing the autobiography, and unfortunately, my house burned down.
Yeah.
And I lost some of the paper. So I stuck that Family Affair cookbook in between and then rewrote, and now it's just, it won the best nonfiction book.
I know. Unbelievable. A published author as well. I love it.
Yes.
That's fantastic. A couple more things just for you, because I know she's got a lot of fans here. You really are amazing here. You're signing, you're talking, you're so personable to fans. One of my other questions is, when you come out to shows and do this and meet the fans, how is that for the one-on-one interaction of people that have seen your career over these years?
I love it. I really like people a lot. And especially if you're an author or you're stuck on a sound stage, you don't get to meet people.
I know.
You know, and so I tend to be a little verbose, if you might have
seen. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And there are so many different kinds of people.
Sure.
You know, Woody Allen used to sit on a bench in New York City, and he would just watch the people go by, the way they walked, the way they talked. Yeah. And nobody is the same, and it's just an endless, fascinating array.
Love that.
I love to meet the people.
I love that too, as well. We're people persons.
We're people.
We really are. We're people. And it's funny because everyone's idiosyncrasies, different styles, different genres. Everybody's people, but they all have different
stories
quirks and stories, and everyone does.
Yes.
Now, if you were not an actress, what would you have done besides that?
I would have been a microbiologist.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
Because I always wanted to know, why are we here? What are we doing here? I mean, I have a direct conduit to whatever supreme being is there, but it's always a fascination. And so I got into DNA and RNA, and I really wanted to know just the essence.
That's amazing. Yeah. I love science.
Oh
no,
yeah.
I'm all about astronomy. Is my forefront, but I love science, and oh my God,
yeah,
I can see you. Yeah, I'm a star somewhere. Right, I am, and I love that. I really do. Now, for you, downtime, off time, what do you really, when you're not writing and you're not, because you do a lot career-wise, when you really have some time, what do you enjoy? What do you personally like to do?
I grow flowers.
Wow.
I have a really beautiful garden where I live. I finally have fenced off enough area so the deer and the bunnies and everybody else doesn't get their little nibblers on them. And I like to play with my dog. I love to cook.
What kind of dog?
I have a Cocker Spaniel.
Nice.
It's my 4th Cocker Spaniel, and my son, who is 25, lives in the basement with his girlfriend, and they really wanted a dog. And the only way they thought that they would get a dog for a present was if it was a black Cocker Spaniel that matched mine. And they know my little weak spot, so now we have 2 dogs.
They knew what they were doing.
They did indeed.
Not
Those
a problem.
kids, you can't skirt them.
Oh. Now, so many people are here, collectors, collecting things, collecting your autograph. Are you a collector of anything?
I collect pottery, and I guess I collect people because my son asked his girlfriend to live in the basement with him.
Right on.
So instead of fleeing, he's just adding more people to the nest.
That's a good thing. No,
yes,
that's a good thing.
I tend
Especially
to collect
if you're all
people.
close.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. He's in the basement. We can't get closer than that.
Wonderful.
That was a joke. Okay.
That's good. My last question. your career's just been so wonderful. You meet people, you're out there, you see autographs being given and taken by celebs and stars and people that think they look like Richard Dreyfuss. For you personally, if you could have an autograph of anyone, alive, dead, fiction, fact, who would you want an autograph or two from?
Well, ones that I have gotten have been from Charlton Heston, and that would be my first. But
Wow.
he signed that picture, and as a matter of fact, he signed 10 of them for me. He was so
I'm no more
kind.
good.
I sent him some pictures, and I said, "Would you?" And this is when he was even having the Alzheimer's disease, and he signed every single picture, and he sent them back to me.
Unbelievable.
He was a really wonderful, special person, for
Aw,
sure.
That's so wonderful. Kathy, tell us your website one more time, please.
KathyGarver.com. Come on and like me on Facebook. Yeah, please like me. No.
Facebook. You're
like
on
I'm on
Facebook,
dancing.
right?
Yeah,
No,
I'm on
yeah,
Facebook.
like Dancing with the Stars.
Oh,
Yeah,
vote
no.
for me. Vote for me.
Right. But Facebook is there. I love Facebook.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so
I like to connect.
You'll get more fans now. Not that you don't have tons already. Ladies and gentlemen, the gorgeous, the wonderful, talented Kathy Garver, Nostalgicon.
Thanks for listening.